Hi, and welcome to the Health Begins with Mom show. I am Dorit, your host. On this podcast, I will share insights and interviews on health, parenting, and explore the question of what does it take to thrive as women, wives, and mothers. Now, let's get going with today's episode. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Health Begins with Mom podcast. This is Dorit, your host. Today is July 22nd. It's a Monday. Besides the fact that this is my oldest daughter's birthday, it's her first jubilee, so she's turning 10. I'm so excited. I'm a mom officially for 10 years now. So besides that, I've also done another Facebook Live inside of my Facebook page. And today I have spoke about specifically the results that you can expect to get after going through the Feminine Current course. So I've also been receiving more questions regarding the course. So I've addressed a little bit some of those. Well, not some, all of those, as well as shared 2 case studies from past clients of mine and how this work changed their lives. So hopefully this gives you another layer of what to expect and how this work would look and feel like, as well as I've actually went one by one. And I have to thank one listener particularly, you know who you are, for helping me with clarity around that. And I went class by class, so how the course will actually flow. So what is going to be covered in class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, 5, and 6. And so this is a 6-week course. It is designed to be as a starting point for you to start owning your feminine power, your power as a leader in your home, and also learning to understand your body better, learning how to feed yourself better, and how to live in alignment with your natural rhythm, cycle, and what I call the feminine current. So hopefully this is going to be of value to you. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm happy to chat with you. I'm happy to jump on a quick phone with you. I'm happy to go back and forth through DMs on Instagram or Facebook or email. Please feel free to reach out to me and ask your questions. So on Instagram, you can find me over at Health Begins with Mom. That's my handle. And on Facebook, I go by Dorit Palvanov. So my last name is spelled as Palvanov. All right, without further ado, here is my Facebook Live that is called What Results You Can Expect After the Feminine Current Course. Let's do this. Hello Facebook. Hello. Welcome to this Facebook Live, which is where we're going to be talking about the actual results that you can expect from going through the Feminine Current course. So as you guys are joining in, hi, make sure to say hi to me. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and also even a heart would be better. This way we can work around the algorithms for Facebook so that more moms and more women and more wives can see this content. Give me just 1 minute to share this video inside of my Facebook group and inside of my personal profile so that the people who are waiting for this can actually see it. Okay. All right, so. Okay. Timeline. All right. I always forget to copy the description, and that matters. Okay, so this goes on my timeline, and the next one will go inside of my group. So if you are not a member of my group, head on over to Busy Moms Get Healthy on Facebook and make sure to answer the questions. There are 3 questions there. Make sure to answer them because otherwise I will not approve you. And that's how you can be a member of our beautiful group, of our amazing village of mamas. Okay, so I am done. Now everybody can see this. Cool. So, like I said, today we are talking about the actual results that you can expect after graduating from the Feminine Current course. I've been getting more and more questions about the course. Since this is my first time launching it, I do understand that there is a bit of I don't know if it's a confusion. I think it's something new, and it's definitely, like I said, it's a groundbreaking, revolutionary program for women, wives, and mothers. And because of that, it requires some extra explanation and extra education, and really making sure that you understand what you're signing up for. I really want to make sure that you are getting absolutely the results that you're after. And so this is why I've done the video last week, and I'm doing this one today to give you more and more clarity in terms of what this is and what you can gain and benefit from this. Okay. So, like I said, I've received a ton of questions, and you will be seeing me looking down. That's because I have my notes here. If you have any question as we go along, please feel free to drop them in the comments, or maybe even send them to me through a DM on Instagram. So on Instagram, my handle is @healthbeginswithmom. You are also very welcome to send me a private message through Facebook. I know that if you're shy, and if you're feeling like you are, hi Natalie, if you're feeling like this is a little bit out of your comfort zone, then I want you to know that you are very welcome here. And everything that I'm sharing here, it is not, I've been through this. I know that there are other women who went through something similar. So please don't be shy, and understand that we all go through this, and you should not, don't be ashamed to reach out for help. This is what this is for. Okay. And then the other thing that I wanted to say, so I'm going to address a few more questions that I've received after my last Q&A session that I've done. And also I wanted to share a few case studies from past clients that I've had, and who actually went through this program with me, and how this program had impacted their life. I really wanted to highlight, not only, it's amazing. Yes, it changes women's lives. It enhances their health, and it makes us feel more alive and more energy and stronger in our body, and even increasing our libido. That is wonderful. Of course, this is what we're going after. But as I said, this program is designed specifically for the mother and the wife who shares her life with other people. And when it happens, it is, hi Ina, it is really important for us to understand that we don't live in a vacuum, and our health and our desires and our the things that we want out of life sometimes is in direct conflict with our kids and their needs, and our husbands and our spouses and our friends and our siblings. And it's really important to understand that you can have all the things that you want. Just learning how to live in a framework that accommodates you and also other people who are around you. So Hey Angela, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions as we go along. Like I said, today I will be sharing a few more questions that I received from the ladies through my Instagram account and also on Facebook and also in my email. It's so amazing you guys are emailing me. That's beautiful. And then I will share 2 case studies from past clients that I've worked with and how this work really changed their lives. All right, so let's start with the further questions. So I received this question and I'm just going to read it out the way I received it. So this beautiful mama says, my problem is not that I don't know that sex matters. What worries me is that I just don't want it. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I want more sex. I want to be interested. Right now, I just frankly don't care. Okay, how can your program change that? Can it even change that? Okay, so I love this question and thank you so much for this language because I'm definitely going to use this in the next iteration of this program. So my short answer to this question would be yes, absolutely yes. I understand that as moms, and I use this term feeling sucked dry to really encompass all the kind of like quote unquote negative feelings that as moms and as women and as busy people we experience in life, feeling burnt out, exhausted, feeling like you are just so tired, you have absolutely no energy for anything. All of this is encompassed under, this term that I referred to again and again. Hi, Stella. Thank you for watching. As being sucked dry. And it's like what I've seen in my work is that there is a progression, right? There is kind of like a journey from being completely sucked dry, so much so that you are like ready to give up on life and say, I'm done with this. To from that place to being this fully embodied, vibrant, radiant, strong, empowered woman that you and I both want to be, right? And so there is this journey. By no means do I promise that in 6 weeks you will do this journey. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. You are amazing, Stella. Thank you so much. Maybe you will. It depends where you're at on your journey. However, what I do want to explain to you is that if you are feeling completely burnt out, like this mama here, she's saying, I just don't care. That is a very strong signal to me and also, of course, to you that something is off. You and I use this language. I feel out of balance. I don't have this balance in I don't feel like I have control over my life. That is a symptom, right? It is a symptom. It doesn't mean that it has to stay like this. It doesn't mean that this is just the way it is. No, it's a symptom. And then the question is, when you understand life and you want to understand more life and you're doing personal growth and personal development and you are on this journey of like figuring this out, then you are kind of like opening the door for possibility, right? Possibility and change. And that is what I want you to give yourself as you're going through this journey. It is really, I've done it in my own life. Believe me, I've been sucked dry for many, many years of my life. And I've seen this with my clients as well. But once you give yourself this permission, then everything changes, right? Everything changes. Once you say, yes, I'm ready, I'm willing, then things start changing for you. And so like this mama is saying, I frankly don't care. And what she's saying is that she wants to want more intimacy. She wants to want more connection. And so it's absolutely possible. Of course, my answer would be yes, 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 yes. But all of this is really a fantasy as long as you don't know how to take care of your body, right? In order to experience this vibrance and amazing intimacy and, feeling really connected to your partner and also to yourself as a woman, and cultivate this relationship with yourself. In order to do so, you need to understand your body, right? This entire experience happens inside of the body. You cannot, have this experience while not owning and understanding and thriving inside of this, right? We are, this cliche. You've heard this before probably, right? We are not humans having a spiritual what's the right way to say it? We're not humans having a spiritual experience. We are spirits having a human experience. And so the soul is constantly talking to us, and it is constantly asking and whispering at us. Sometimes it's screaming, right? The screaming will be through symptoms that you can no longer ignore. Things like if you're talking about physical symptoms, it's like things like PCOS or fibroids or even cancer, diabetes, like things that you can no longer just ignore and not address. You have to pay attention to, right? That would be things, this would be a symptom that is screaming at you. But sometimes it all begins with a whisper, with an ache, with a craving, with a longing, with this wanting more out of life. And from what I'm understanding from this question is that there is this ache for something. She wants to have more connection. She wants to have more intimacy. She wants to have more sex and desire. However, if she doesn't care, that means to me that there are other things that she prioritizes over it. So first, we need to understand and unpack her life and how things, what's going on with her life, what's going on with her schedule, what's going on with the way, how is she conducting herself in her life, how is she taking care of herself, how does she eat, how does she feed herself, right? All of those things are really, really important. And then once you understand, once you plug yourself into your natural rhythm and you start cycling with it, right? Cycle in, cycle out, cycle in, cycle out. It takes a minute for you to kind of recalibrate, but once you get into this rhythm, then and only then is it possible for you to actually experience what this mama wants, which is wanting to want sex, right? So absolutely it is possible, but you need to give yourself the permission and be courageous and brave and say, you know what? Yes, I need to look at this. I need to find out why am I feeling the way I'm feeling, and then actually to follow through and make this work. Okay, so this is the first question. The next question was, how much is the course and is there a payment plan available? Okay, so the course is $997 US, and in terms of a payment plan, I don't have a payment plan available. I think it's a pretty affordable program. However, if you feel like the money, if everything else resonates and you're like, yes, this is exactly what I need, please let me know. I don't want the money to be the only reason why you don't join this program. Reach out to me, send me a DM, send me a private message, email me at Dorit@healthbeginswithmom, and we will figure out the payment situation. I don't want you to stop yourself just because of the money, right? Remember, money is energy. It's just an exchange of energy. For me to be able to deliver this to you in a way that you will actually receive and feel like you're reciprocating the energy, there has to be a monetary exchange. And so if money is the only thing that stands in your way, please let me know and we'll figure that out, okay? Okay, another question I've received is, I have debilitating period pain. Would this help? Absolutely yes. This program is designed for women who are struggling with some sort of a hormonal imbalance in their body. You don't necessarily have to understand what kind of hormonal imbalance. However, a period pain, specifically if it's debilitating period pain, screams to me that there is a hormonal imbalance of some sort. And so this program is designed to give you the tools and the education to take care of yourself in a way that will help you to shift this around. So definitely this program would help. Another question is, I'm so disorganized and disoriented. Sometimes I feel like I'm discombobulated, like I'm falling into pieces and all I do is survive. Every day seems the same. My life feels like Groundhog Day and I don't know how to create space for something like this. Will you teach me how to manage my time and energy? Ooh, I love this question so much. Absolutely yes. I mean, this is not the only thing that I will teach you, but learning to manage your time and energy, it is a part of who you are, right? I mean, like I said, I love using this term, you're not living in a void. For me to teach you nutrition and teach you about food and hormones, I cannot do this in a way that will stick, in a way that will feel sustainable for you long term, without also explaining to you that you need to also know how to manage your time and also how to manage your energy and how to if you will, to juggle all the balls that you are juggling in the air, that you are holding in the air, without feeling like you're completely, like if you turn around just for a second, all of this will fall and crash to the ground. No, sometimes, you should be able to juggle things, turn around and have maybe somebody else juggling instead of you, right? And so feeling that kind of a support from your family members, from your spouse, from your kids even, and even from the village that you have in your life, depending on where you live and the kind of community that you have. This is important. This is a part of, creating this kind of balance for yourself. And if you're feeling disoriented and disorganized and discombobulated, I love this. This is exactly who this program is for. The term disoriented, to me, as somebody who teaches how to live in the flow, it almost means like you are not living in this rhythm. You are disconnected from this rhythm, right? And so you need to learn how to put yourself back into this rhythm. It doesn't mean that you're not cycling. You're not already a part of the rhythm. You are very much in sync with the rhythm. It's just you don't understand how to understand it and how to make sense of it and how to make decisions in your life, whether it's with your kids, in your partnership, or maybe even with your work, in alignment with those. And this is where the magic really unfolds, when you know how to plug yourself in a way that everything all of a sudden starts to make sense. Okay? So absolutely this would work, and I will teach you how to manage your time and energy, and I will give you a lot of ideas for things that work for me and also for my clients. Okay, another question. I have really bad anger issues. Before becoming a mom, I didn't know I'm capable of such intensity. It's so bad. I'm a really bad mom. I turned into a monster and a raging bitch in a split second. My poor kids and husband, they do get the worst of me. Does this program help with that? Okay, so I want to say yes, it does help. It does help. However, not in a way that is, I guess I'm gonna say, straight to the point like that. I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. However, what I've noticed is when women are being plugged into the rhythm, and they learn how to live in their flow and in with their feminine current, and they learn to understand their emotions better, they learn to understand their body better, sensual intelligence. Remember, we spoke about this inside of the on the challenge a couple of weeks ago. And so once this happens, once this understanding sets in, then you are getting this kind of extra layer of your consciousness, to your consciousness. And then you are able to start kind of like slowing down and making sense of things and stopping yourself before you become a monster, right? I mean, I remember this from myself. Before I understood myself, before I was plugged into this rhythm, I was, oh my gosh, a devil. I mean, I was a devil without wearing Prada. I was so mean. And all I wanted was to just, my question was, why can't I just be a nice person? Like, why can't I? What's wrong with me? Why am I why am I so angry all the time? I want to be happy. I want to be alive. I want my joy for life back. Where is it? Is it normal that motherhood and parenting and marriage supposed to suck the life out of you? And no, I know absolutely that the answer to this question is no. It's a screaming no, capital N-O. No, it's just that what happens in life is that we are plugging ourselves out of the feminine current. Unfortunately, we're not taught this stuff, and and we lose it, and we the sense that the feeling that we get through this journey is that we are losing control, and that we are completely out of alignment with ourselves and with our potential and with our purpose in this life, and it all becomes chaotic, noisy, hard, and just like a lot of conflict. And it doesn't have to be like that. It does not have to be like that. And so absolutely, this program will help you to address those anger issues, at least to the point that you will start understanding yourself better and where this anger is coming from. I will be talking a little bit later today about your relationship with your liver, and how, according to traditional Chinese medicine, anger and frustration and this kind of level of intensity, it actually resides. The body stores this energy inside of the liver. And so it's really important, if you are feeling like you are, a raging bitch and you have a lot of anger issues, to address the liver, which is something that we do inside of the feminine current course. Okay, so this is this question. Okay, next one was, I feel like my health is not a priority right now. My first priority is parenting and marriage. Before I take care of myself, I have to fix the mess I've caused in the first place. Absolutely. Listen, it's up to you. You are the one who understands what's more important. However, from my experience, and actually this ties beautifully to the last question, the rage and, kind of like ruining our kids or screwing our kids up, or somebody even said, I don't want my kids to need therapy after they leave my home. All of this stuff, all the parenting imbalances that happen in our life, and also the marital, the marriage problems that we're having, I have seen that they happen mostly because as women, we don't understand ourselves. We don't understand our bodies. We don't understand our psyche. We don't understand our senses. And we, as a result, we feel like I said, out of control, out of alignment, and that is being expressed as, problems in parenting and problems in marriages. And so I personally believe that it always have to begin with you, which is why my work is called Health Begins with Mom, because I truly believe that it has to begin with you. It's an inner kind of work, right? It has to happen from the inside out as opposed to the outside in. Meaning you need to learn how to respond to life as opposed to being reactive at life. Because when you're reactive at life, that's when it feels like it's hard, right? That's when it feels like, oh my gosh, it's too much. It's too many things, too many pieces are coming at me. As opposed to saying, no, I am the one in control. I'm the one designing my life. I'm the one that has the power to create the life that I love to live. And then, learning how to maneuver this life of yours, right? And become adaptable to whatever is coming your way. And so, if you believe that parenting is already at the point where you need intervention, please go ahead and solve that problem first. Whether it's your marriage situation or your parenting. However, if you feel like this is not something that requires, immediate attention from a professional, and it does feel like it is more a problem of you that originates with you, then the feminine current course will definitely help you. Okay, another question is, I hate tracking my period. I don't want to do that. Can I still benefit without doing this? Okay. She said, I hate tracking my food, and also I don't want to do that. Okay, sorry, not period. She said food. But I guess period also. Who wants to track their period? Can I still benefit from doing this? Okay, without doing this. Okay. I'm just going to be straight out. In order to fully reap the benefits of the feminine current work, you need to be of the mentality of constantly keeping the pulse, constantly having your hands on the pulse, right? Constantly checking in constantly, right? Not once a month, not once every 6 months, right? Which is what we normally do when we do something like blood work or other tests at the doctor's office. This is taking the pulse, checking the pulse daily, on the daily. What I've seen, what this does, it helps women to create a very close connection with with themselves. And what that does is it helps you to catch those symptoms and pay attention to those symptoms when they do arise, and they will arise on time. It helps you to catch them on time. Also, it helps to feel like you are aligned psychospiritually, like in terms of your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, and also your physical health. When you are plugged into the feminine current, into this framework, into the flow, then you know how to understand your life much better, how to understand the pieces of your life, how to be more attentive to the kids, how to be, how to be in this kind of relationship, the give and take with your spouse. It's a really, this kind of work, it's a work of being adaptable. And in order to practice this, you need to work with the female daily tracking sheet. And the way I've designed the course is, and to make this more helpful for you, I've designed it so that you can follow along with the sheets and make sure that you know how to track the 6 female markers that we talked about in the past, and then you snap a picture and you send it to me so that you have my accountability, and I can help to guide you and help you to put 2 and 2 together so that you know how to understand yourself through this kind of tracking, right? If you resist this kind of pulsing or keeping the pulse, that is also a symptom. That is another symptom. That is another signal that you might want to pay attention to, right? Like, why do you resist it so much? Why do you, feel like you're lazy in doing so, right? Self-care, it is another expression of self-love. When we love ourselves, when we really appreciate ourselves and we feel really grateful for our life, then, all the things that are quote unquote necessary to do or you should do, they become a little bit easier, right? It's really a matter of mindset. And so change your mindset from, it's hard and it's it's another chore and it's another thing on my to-do, from, no, this is actually how I am learning to take care of myself. It really begins there. Like I've shared in previous videos, I've never, in my entire career of working with moms and women, I've never said I've never recommended or prevented, or taken away any food from anybody. This really happens from women's own awareness, right? Paying attention to their senses and emotions, and really seeing how a certain food is not really serving them, or actually could be under certain symptoms. And so women just know to see it on their own. I don't have to be the one telling them, you have to stop eating this or that. That's where it's really important to be diligent and track, and to cultivate that kind of keeping the pulse. Okay. Okay, next question. I'm so confused about food. Food feels like a chore. Eating healthy is time consuming. I don't know what is good for me anymore. I keep hearing that I need supplements and pills, that something is wrong with my metabolism, that I can't eat carbs, that I have to eat less, 1,200 calories or less. I'm sick of feeling like crap and hiding behind baggy clothes. How can your course help me with that? Okay. So all of those things, again, I can just take all of those and group them under one thing. It is just not understanding your female body and not knowing how to care for it, how to nourish it, how to just, how to be with yourself in a way that feels sustainable. And so I'm just going to say, yes, the Feminine Current course will help you with that. Because all of these feelings are just a form of resistance. All of those things are just another way of saying, I don't want to, because it feels hard. And so again, mindset, open your eyes, open your head, open your mind, and visualize that, you deserve to thrive. You deserve to feel really good. And, it's like, it's like what Einstein said. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. It's exactly that, right? So you want a different result, but you keep doing the same thing. And so what do you expect? Of course, it's not going to change. You need to be courageous. You need to be brave, and you need to say, no, not this. I don't want to live like this anymore. I'm willing to try something else. And that's where magic happens. Okay, so all of those things are really just another form of resistance, maybe lack of education, lack of understanding. And so absolutely the Feminine Current course will help with that. Okay, I'm done with the questions. If you have any more questions, please send them my way. You can type them here in the comment, or you can send me a DM. I'm just going to check if I got any questions. Okay, cool. And the best place to reach me is via my Instagram account. So look me up by @healthbeginswithmom, and that's where you can send me a DM, and I'm happy to answer any other questions. Okay, now let's go through a couple of case studies. I have 2 case studies to show you what's possible for you on the other side of the Feminine Current course. The first case study is of Lori, and of course I've used different names just to keep the privacy of my clients private. So Lori is a 38-year-old wife and mama of 2 boys, ages 11 and 7. And Lori worked with me because, and I'm using her words here, she was gaining weight like crazy. So there was a period of her time when she noticed that the weight is just, it keeps piling on her. She has gained 42 pounds in just 2 years. So that is a significant amount, and she didn't feel comfortable in that. Also, her periods, they were kind of like on and off. Her face started to break out, and her thyroid was starting to be off as well. Her blood work showed that she's healthy, but she knew deep inside that something was wrong. So her last 2 years, they were particularly challenging for her because her life just seemed to slip into chaos, clutter, and conflict. She has been recently promoted to a senior level at work. And so while things seemed good at work, right, she felt like she's progressing and she's growing and climbing the ladder at work, her home life was falling apart. She used to come home after a long day at work, giving her all, at work, left with very little energy for her kids and husband and her household. She was exhausted, she was overworked, she was undernourished, she was really starved. She was so starved for food, for nutrition, but also for real connection and real love. Her kids were extremely anxious and troubled by the fact that their parents, both mommy and daddy, and specifically in particular mom, had so little time and energy for them. And of course, it was manifested through behavioral issues and anger and problems with other friends. These things are manifested through our kids, right? Because they pick up on that energy. When the kids wanted to play, she was sleeping on the couch. When they wanted to go outside to the park, mom wanted to stay home and watch TV. As a result of this, lack of energy, they ate junk food or store-bought food because mom and dad didn't have time to cook, and they frankly didn't even know how. Kids got sick very often, and also Lori got sick quite a lot. And those poor kids, they were medicated with antibiotics at least once a month, which to me was like, oh my gosh, this is not good. Lori's husband's blood pressure started to increasing in that period of time, and he was also pre-diabetic. So on our discovery call, Lori had to admit that all of this started happening after she got promoted, right? She really had to be honest with herself, and it got her feeling really emotional and also feeling torn. She was really torn between growing her career, so self-actualizing at work and in terms of her creative power, and also nurturing her home life, which was also very important, an important piece for her. So when we started working together, we kind of went through a few steps together. So step number one was I helped Lori. The first thing was to plug her back into her natural rhythm. And in other words, and you guys are already familiar with this language, is I plugged her back into her feminine current. I've taught her how to eat, how to exercise, and how to socialize in alignment with her cycle. And this is also known as cycle syncing and fertility awareness. Once we understand how how our hormones change and how they fluctuate, in each one of the phases, and our needs, our physical needs for different kind of nutrition in each phase, then it really changed the ball game, and it really helps you to tap into your energy reserves that are very available for you, right? When you know about this, it makes it so much easier. The next thing we've done is we've worked on healing her periods. I've taught her how to decipher her period and decode it as a vital sign. And more importantly, how to replenish the nutrients that she's been depleting through her menses. This alone completely blew her mind. She was shocked and even angry that her doctor had never taught her this stuff. The truth and reality is that doctors don't know, so don't expect them to. The next step was that we worked on digestion, inflammation, and her liver. I designed a protocol for liver cleanse and reset. And Lori really struggled with controlling her rage and anger. And I've explained to her, like I said earlier, that according to traditional Chinese medicine, the liver is where we store anger, rage, and also unresolved emotions from our childhood. So it is crucial to give this organ some love and some nutrients and some just a lot of some care. to pay attention to this organ. And then the next step was addressing her biggest problem, which was estrogen dominance. The weight gain, acne, period problems, and also anger issues, they all arose from that. And so we've addressed that as well. And I've taught her how to take care of herself better so that her body knows to efficiently excrete estrogen out of the body. Next step was, once Lori understood how to live in alignment with her feminine current, right? So you need to think always that every layer, every time we add a layer to her healing, to her health protocol, to her nutritional protocol, it's always done in alignment with the feminine current. It's like we're adding another another layer every time. So after we've done, so everything, like I said, everything was done around her cycle. Her next step was understanding her cravings and the relationship between cortisol, insulin, leptin, and ghrelin in her body, and how to feel more satiated from the food that she ate. Such a huge piece for us busy moms. If we don't understand how to use food as fuel, then it becomes really difficult to move through life and to feel good about the life that we're living. But when you know to use food as a tool, it changes everything. It changes everything. And so she learned to understand her cravings for sweets and her cravings for salty and cravings for crunchier food. And all of that really helped her to become much more intentional and deliberate with the food choices that she's making. And again, I've never told her what to eat. She was always in control. She was always the one leading the program, leading the journey. I was just always there by her side. And kind of like coaching her through resistance, but really in reality it was all her work, her beautiful work that she's done. The next step was, it was the most surprising topic for Lori, and that was the impact of skincare, body care, feminine products, household cleaners, and the impact of environmental toxins that they have on our entire endocrine system and gut health. And so this on its own, I mean, I was kind of hesitant to share this with her because I didn't want to overwhelm her, but I've noticed that she's using a lot of she slathers a lot of things on her skin, and so I had to make sure that I communicate that to her. And once she started cleansing and detoxing those things, and again, it didn't happen overnight, it happened slowly, because again, I believe in sustainability, and I believe in taking things slower as opposed to faster, just to help those habits to actually stick. And so, like I said, in our time together, she was able to slowly switch the harmful ingredients out of her house and replace them with better quality stuff. We've also covered things like budgeting, meal planning, eating on the road while traveling, as well as making herself and her health a priority, which was a constant struggle. She really struggled with prioritizing herself because, again, it's a mindset shift to go from I am the one creating and designing my life the way I want to live, as opposed to being in reactive mode and just, what's the thing that I want to say? Instead of like just keeping the fire down constantly, right? That's how an unsustainable life feels like you're walking on eggshells even. And then the last step was that we've addressed the art of living in alignment with her feminine current when it comes to her female body and her health. How to design a life that feels in flow and alignment with her goals moving forward in a way that feeds her as a whole human being, right? As a holistic being. She's learned that she doesn't have to give up on herself physically, mentally, and emotionally. And also her career goals. It is possible to be a caring and present mom and wife while working towards your own personal goals. This is something that I'm super happy that, she's kind of grasp through this entire process and really really embarked on her journey, from that. Through this process, Lori learned that the health of her family begins with her. When she made herself and her health a priority, everything started to shift. Her boys became calmer and less anxious at school and also at home. She had a discussion with her husband about their health as a family, and together they've decided to invest in bicycles and ride together more often as a family, which is good for bonding as a family, but also for their health. So they started to choose more kind of a more healthier lifestyle when she really started to get out of her her cocoon, when she started feeling a little bit better herself. That's when they were able to make more changes in terms of their family. Another really cool thing that happened through this process, which I was honored to witness, was that Lori started owning her power back, and that made her more radiant, alive, magnetic, and really irresistible to her husband. So she reported that their sex life got much, much better, and that makes me so happy. So Lori's case study is an example of how the health of the entire household begins with the woman. You are the one who sets the tone for your household. Your energy creates the ecosystem in your house. Everything, whether you want it or not, whether you like it or not, but this is just the reality of things. Everything revolves around you, and the sooner you own your power, the better it would be for yourself and also for your family. Okay, so hopefully this helps. Hopefully you can find yourself, in Lori's story, and hopefully this gives you hope. So the next case study is the story of Emily, another client of mine. So Emily is a 41-year-old wife and mama of 2 daughters, so ages 10 and 8. She is an executive at a media company, and Emily struggled the most with taking care of herself in a demanding, male-dominant environment. After years of working in a high-stress, high-needs state, she just got burnt out, and she got super exhausted, and in her words, she got dry. Her hormones were out of whack. She barely had time to eat. She was sleep deprived, and as a result, her home life obviously suffered. She told me that she wasn't showing up as her best self at home, and she felt really, really guilty about that. The worst moment she recalled, and she shared that with me over at our discovery calls, and she was bawling and so emotional when she shared that. But she said this moment when she was so tired and so depleted, that so much that she slapped her daughter in the face because of a silly comment that her daughter made. And she felt extremely embarrassed and ashamed that she had completely lost control of herself. And she said for her, that was the last straw. And on our discovery call, we've identified that she has lost the sense of balance in her life, the sense of harmony, and that rhythmic feeling that, that you kind of own the energy of your life. That she didn't know how to make this work, she said, in a way that feels good for everyone. How could she grow in her company? That was her question, while showing up the way that she had always wanted to at home. So a frequent question that she used to ask me was, Dorit, is this even possible? I feel like in order for me to show up the way I want to at home for my kids and marriage, I have to give up my own dreams, aspirations, career, friendships, and interests. I don't have the energy for all of those things, right? She said, I used to love sex and now I don't care. Now all I want is to end the day, get to my bed early, to start it all over. So Emily was the one who coined actually the term suck dry for me. And I loved it so much that I've decided to incorporate it in my marketing and the call out for women to join the Feminine Current program. So Emily is a God-centered, heart-centered, conscious woman with strong intuitive power. She just knew that something was off, and she was willing to pause and change. And I'm so proud of her for doing that. I really acknowledge her bravery and courage to do so, because her life really is very, very full and busy. So we've worked through all the 6 steps that I mentioned earlier with Lori as well. And I'm proud to say that Emily's life had completely shifted. She went from feeling sucked dry, exhausted, out of control, lost, confused, and disoriented to feeling stronger, more energized, and leading with her feminine power. Through working with the Feminine Current course, Emily learned how to work with her cycle, how to prioritize her daily to-dos and tasks in alignment with her cycle. So we spoke about that a little bit earlier. She also learned how to understand her female body better. Emily had witnessed firsthand how, when she felt in control of her own mental, emotional, and physical health, she was creating a positive ripple effect at home. She had noticed that her daughters became calmer and closer to her and also to one another. There was way less whining and less drama in the house in general after her doing this kind of work, because her kids had seen their mom just feeling good. And when our kids see us feeling good and feeling grounded and centered and happy with a smile, swaying our hips in the kitchen, it gives them a sense of, life is good. It's okay. It gives them a sense of safety and security, and it sends the signal of serenity. And that is why I believe kids who have behavioral issues, it's without putting the blame and without inflicting even more shame on anybody, but I believe, and I've seen it in my own life, I've seen it in the life of my clients, is it happens because energetically something is off in the house, right? Health really does begin at home. In our time together, Emily also started learning more about cosmic power, about astrology, divine feminine, and tantric sex. This is something that she had her own interest developing after being exposed to this kind of work. And to this day, she's ecstatic and proud of herself for choosing herself and for investing in herself, because the return on investment was really tenfold. On our last conversation, she had even shared with me that she's enjoying a thrilling and exhilarating sex life and pleasure with her husband, which again makes me so happy. For me, when I know that a woman is enjoying a fulfilling, sex and is really thriving in the bedroom, to me it's clear that this woman, she knows what she's doing and she's really taking care of herself. And also she shared with me that her husband just recently noted that this was the best thing that investing in working with me was the best thing that she had done for herself and also for their family. So that was really nice to hear. Testimonials like this just warm my heart, and this is why I do what I do, right? Other than that, it's just logistics, but really helping a woman, helping a family have it better and really thrive and step into their potential as a human. This is really why I do what I do. I want more women, more wives, and more mothers to own their feminine power, to plug themselves into their feminine current and witness their own magic unfolding, right? And this is not wishful thinking. This is all available to you too. This is not something that just Lori and Emily have over you or anybody else. The only way that they might be different is that they were brave and courageous in saying yes to themselves. And I want this for you too. So think about this for a second. What would it feel like to wake up in the morning feeling lit up and turned on and to be ready to take on the day? What would it feel like to get your kids ready with calm and grounding instead of yelling, chaos, and anxiety? What would it feel like to go to work knowing that you know how to manage your energy, how to nourish your body, and know how to be productive without totally being spent at work, right? This is one of the problems that so many suck dry moms are experiencing, and that's why it seems like after a whole day at work, it's really difficult to come back home and continue, another shift. And it's really about not knowing how to work with energy. That's at the end of it, like at the very basis of it all, it's really knowing how to work with energy and also knowing how to nourish and feed yourself. So imagine how it would feel. Imagine how it would feel to come back home with a smile on your face and actually look in your kids' eyes, how to be present for them after a whole day that they haven't seen you, and actually to listen to their stories and to pay attention. Oh my gosh, I really struggled and still do sometimes with the paying attention and being present with my kids. How would it feel like to have the confidence to be in the family pictures instead of behind the camera? How would it feel like to have enough energy in the evening to put the kids to bed and to read them a bedtime story without wishing to be done with it already so that you could go to bed, right? How would it feel like to understand your body so well that you know what you need, how to ask for your needs kindly but firmly, and to actually get them met? Right? How would it feel like to not avoid your husband because you know that what he really wants is sex and that's the last thing on your mind, right? So how would it feel like to stop doing that? And how would it feel to ditch the mom guilt of what you feel like you should be feeding yourself and your family? How would it feel like to love and appreciate your body for how amazing it is instead of punishing it by eating less and exercising more, right? We have to stop, ladies. We have to stop doing this. This is not self-care. This is not radical self-care. This is actually self-destruction. How would it feel like to finally enjoy the food that you eat instead of feeling anxiety or guilt over every bite? How would it feel like to open the box of pre-baby clothes and actually fit in those jeans that you used to love? Remember the compliments you've got from your husband, and remember the butt slaps? I remember. How would it feel like to never worry about bathing suit season or a special event ever again because you just know how to take care of yourself sustainably and then you're not yo-yoing anymore? It's not a matter of, oh, this event or this summer coming up, right? It's not a matter of that. You just know that you matter and you make this a priority for always, ever, forever. So if this resonates with you, then you want to join the very first round of the Feminine Current six-week course, which is starting this upcoming Thursday. If you're watching and listening to this live, then this Thursday, July the 25th of 2019. And this is how the course is going to flow. So first class is going to be on July the 25th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be talking about, I will be doing an introduction to the feminine current, to cycle syncing, and also to fertility awareness. Second class will be on Thursday. All the classes, by the way, are going to be on Thursdays. So August the 1st from 1 to 2:30 p.m. And the topic is going to be your period as a fifth vital sign, how to decipher your period and give your body what it actually needs. Third class, we will be talking about, it's going to be actually on August the 8th, same time. We're going to be talking about digestion, inflammation, and your liver. And I will give you my liver protocol and how to start detoxifying your liver. By the way, my liver detox is super gentle. It is not one of those harsh liver detoxes because as a busy mom, you know, it's hard to do. It's hard to do and it's not sustainable. So mine is super gentle. Fourth class is going to be on August the 15th, and it's going to be about estrogen dominance and environmental toxins. Fifth class is going to be on August 22nd, I'm not mentioning the time because it's the same time, from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be about understanding food cravings and how to control your blood sugar levels. Super important for us ladies to know that. Sixth and last class is going to be on Thursday, August the 29th. Again, from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern. And that is going to be all about the art of living in alignment with your feminine current and how to design a life that you love to live without feeling like you are taking away from your kids, husband, career, home responsibilities, and anything else that matters to you. Okay? So my love, how does this sound to you? If you resonate with anything I've said today, please reach out to me and let me know. I know how scary it is to say yes to something like this. I know how guilty and ashamed you feel for wanting more out of your life. And I want you to give yourself the permission to stop living a half life or as a half woman. You deserve more, and I want to show you how to get it. Okay, so to register for this course, head on over to www.healthbeginswithmom.com/feminine-current, and I will drop the link also in the comments. And if you feel like you are, not ready yet to enroll because you have a concern, you have a question, you still need to connect with me, please feel free to do so. You can chat with me. I'm happy to jump on a quick phone call with you, or maybe even to chat with you over at Instagram or Facebook, or even through my email. Please feel free to do so. So if you want to reach me out on Instagram, you can find me at Health Begins with Mom. That's my handle. You can send me a DM. Or you can send me an email. So send me an email to Dorit at Health Begins with Mom. And if you want to find me on Facebook, just search Dorit Palvanov. So my last name is spelled as Palvanov. Find me there and let's connect. I'm super happy to welcome you to the course and to get to know you better and to help you thrive as a woman, wife, and a mother. All right, hope this has been helpful for you, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Health Begins with Mom show. I love hearing from you, so please post your comments and questions over at healthbeginswithmom.com/podcast. If you love the show, please share it on social media and in your real life with other moms who might enjoy this content. And if you have a burning question or topic you'd like me to hit on the show, just drop me a line at dorit@healthbeginswithmom.com. And if you love the show and really want to support it, please go to iTunes, write a review, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Much love and many blessings.